September the 2nd, 2025. In less than 2 hours, a multi-billion-dollar armored strike force was not merely halted, it was obliterated. More than 230 Russian tanks and armored vehicles, the pride of Moscow's Spearhead, were systematically destroyed by an enemy they never even saw. And the executioner wasn't a larger army or a superior tank. It was a brand new philosophy of war. What do you think determines victory today? Cutting-edge technology, sheer numbers, or tactical brilliance? Leave your thoughts in the comments. That morning, the sun rose over the flat fields of Zaporizhia, terrain perfectly suited for tanks. And the Russians had brought what they believed was the perfect weapon for it. Inside his command post, General Volkov watched the monitors with grim satisfaction. His steel fist was uncoiling. Between 80 and 90 of Russia's most advanced main battle tanks. The T-90M Pro Rev, alongside heavily upgraded T-72B3s, spearheaded the advance. With composite armor and relict ERA, they looked invincible to anything but the deadliest anti-tank weapons. Behind them rolled 150 infantry fighting vehicles, a mix of BMP-3s and BTR-82As, carrying assault troops meant to storm Ukrainian trenches. Backing them up, dozens of 2S-19 MSTAS self-propelled howitzers walked fire ahead of the advance. It was the classic Russian formula: overwhelming firepower and shock action. A thunder run, designed to smash through defenses and reclaim the initiative lost to a year of bloody stalemate. Volkov's confidence grew stronger thanks to his shield of air defenses. Tor M2s and Buk M3s rolling with the column, radars sweeping the skies for anything daring to fly. Farther back, the Kraska 4 and Shipovnik Aero electronic warfare systems poured out powerful jamming, meant to blind Ukrainian drones and sever communications. To the Russian crews, it felt like an unstoppable tide of steel. But 6,000 meters above, an unseen watcher circled, a Ukrainian Shark reconnaissance drone, one of 50, flying beyond the reach of Tor M2 missiles. Invisible to Russian eyes, its optics captured everything: neat formations, plumes of dust, the aura of confidence. All of it streamed to a Ukrainian command bunker, where another general stared not at arrows on a map, but at icons, hundreds of them, each symbolizing a small, cheap, deadly asset. Ukraine's plan was simple, yet lethal. Not steel against steel, but a net woven from microchips and explosives to trap a predator. If modern doctrines fascinate you, make sure to subscribe. We dissect game-changing tactics every week. The Russian column pressed forward, covering kilometers without resistance. Their artillery had reduced Ukrainian positions to ash. Confidence surged. Maybe Kiev had finally cracked. Then came the order: Vatra, engage. From concealed sites miles away, a new sound filled the air. Not the roar of jets, but the heavy hum of 150 hexacopter drones. These were no sleek scouts. They were flying dump trucks, each carrying compact but lethal anti-tank mines. Flying low beneath Buk M3 radars, they surged forward. Russian commanders spotted dark specks swelling on the horizon. Confusion spread. Were these bombers? Tor M2 crews reacted quickly, launching missiles that tore several drones apart. But there were too many, too spread out, and they weren't aiming at the tanks. Passing over the advance, the drones simply opened their bays. Hundreds of black discs rained down, carpeting the soil directly in front of the Spearhead. Their mission complete, the hexacopters turned and fled. The lead T-90M commander saw the falling objects and braked hard. His tank screeched to a halt, meters from the fresh minefield. Momentum collapsed instantly. Radios erupted with shouting. The armored fist clenched into a frozen traffic jam. The mines were not meant to annihilate the column. They were designed to channel it, forcing tanks into narrow, pre-selected corridors. Corridors that were kill zones. The Russian offensive lost its rhythm, formation shattered. Control of the battlefield slipped away. They didn't even know who they were fighting. They were predators caught in a snare. Yet the hunter had not even shown his face. What came next would redefine air defense. If you were the commander, funneled into unknown territory by an invisible hand, would you push through or pull back? Tell us in the comments. Furious, Volkov ordered engineers forward to clear mines, while his vaunted air defenses tightened a perimeter. His troops were professionals, with the best mobile shield on Earth. Exactly what Ukraine wanted. From multiple directions, a new swarm rose, 300 FPV kamikaze drones. Small, nimble, blindingly fast. Each carried fragmentation warheads, designed not for tanks, but for radar dishes, missile tubes, and exposed crews. In a Ukrainian bunker, young operator Oksana clenched her controller, her feed showing her drone racing above sunflower fields. "Target designated, Tor system, grid 4B, came a calm voice in her ear. Russian EW systems screamed at full power. Drone feeds flickered into static. For 10 terrifying seconds, Oksana's screen went black. "I've lost signal! I'm blind!" she shouted. "Switch to inertial guidance," ordered her commander. "Trust the last vector." A desperate gamble. Her drone was now a ghost, flying blind on memory. She held her breath. 3 seconds. 4. Then, the image snapped back. Grainy, but enough. Directly ahead, a Tor M2, its crew scanning the skies, oblivious to the side threat. "Target in sight! Engaging!" Her drone plunged. Across the front, this scene repeated. Tor operators locked onto one drone, fired, destroyed it, only for 3 more to appear. Jammers disrupted some, but not all. The swarm was too dense. Oksana's drone smashed into the Tor's turret, the warhead scattering steel bearings that shredded radar arrays and missile tubes. A missile cooked off, tearing the turret apart. A Buk M3 was hit by 2 drones simultaneously. Its dish ripped away, its crew cut down. Another Tor was disabled when a drone rammed its rotating scanner. Each strike was deliberate. Operators prioritized the deadliest threats first. Within 15 minutes, the impenetrable umbrella of Russian air defense was riddled with holes. Then it collapsed completely. The turning point had arrived. Tanks and IFVs now stood naked. The skies over Zaporizhia cleared of Russian defenses. Silence descended, broken only by burning wrecks and panicked shouts. They were blind. They were deaf. And the third wave was already coming. 450 tank-killer FPV drones, the apex predators of this ecosystem. Each carried tandem-charge heat warheads, the same lethal science found in RPG-7s and Stugna P missiles. These were engineered to kill the heaviest armor alive. For Russian crews, the nightmare began. A faint whine grew louder, until the heavens disgorged not a handful, but hundreds. A swarm of hornets is screaming down. A T-90M commander strained his periscope, spraying his 12.7mm in desperation. The drones were too small, too fast, too many. He glimpsed one diving, and then his world detonated. The heat warhead struck the turret roof, the weakest spot. A jet of molten copper at 8 kilometers punched through ERA, and steel like paper. Inside, overpressure crushed lungs while armor fragments became a storm of shrapnel. The crew died instantly. Across the zone, tanks, IFVs, and howitzers fell the same way. A BMP-3 was gutted. A 2S-19 MSTA-S took a hit to its ammo rack, erupting in a blast felt a kilometer away. Chaos reigned. Crews abandoned multi-million-dollar machines, sprinting across open fields. There was no escape. Ukrainian operators, cool and distant, steered their swarm with surgical precision. It was a symphony of destruction composed from miles away. When air defenses vanish and the sky swarms with enemies, what would you do? Stay in your tank or run? There's no right answer. After 30 minutes, the drone hum faded. The swarm's work was done. Charred wrecks littered the fields. But the nightmare wasn't over. From tree lines and sunken roads, Ukrainian mechanized infantry advanced. The cleanup crew, armed with javelins, stugnapus, and NLAWs, they hunted survivors, picking off damaged tanks and fleeing BTRs. The Russian assault wasn't just stopped. It wasn't merely defeated. It was annihilated. In under 2 hours, an armored spearhead had ceased to exist. The fields of Zaporizhia became a graveyard of ambition, a message written in fire and steel. That message shook military headquarters worldwide. Billion-dollar armored forces could be destroyed by swarms of cheap drones. Asymmetric warfare, not raw tonnage of steel, now defined the battlefield. Russia lost billions. Ukraine spent less than the cost of one T-90M. The blitzkrieg doctrine of tanks that dominated for 80 years may be dead. In its place stand layered drone swarms, real-time sensor intel, and the surgical removal of enemy shields before striking the sword. Ukraine executed it perfectly. Heavy drones seeding instant minefields, swarms tearing down air defenses, then tank killers swooping in. They didn't fight T-90s head-on. They stole their eyes and guardians, then dismantled them at leisure. This adaptability, mass-producing specialized low-cost drones, is Ukraine's edge. Not one super drone, but thousands of good-enough machines working as one. The warning is clear. No billion-dollar force is safe. Not armor, not air forces, not navies. A new kind of warrior now exists. The remote hunter, safe in a bunker, and a new kind of victim, soldiers entombed in million-dollar coffins. The psychological distance between killer and killed has never been wider, yet the violence is more precise and intimate than ever. This is a paradigm shift in warfare. And the question that remains, will such technology deter war by raising the price, or make it more common by lowering the cost of destruction?